Welcome dear students. In this video lecture we are going to learn how to use the radial line method to develop a pyramid and cone. Let's go to learn about development of the pyramid. The problem is that the development of the lateral surfaces of a pentagonal pyramid of base side 35 mm and axis height 65 mm, which is resting on HP on its base with one of the base edges being parallel and nearer to VP. So in this problem, our solid pentagonal pyramid is simply resting on the horizontal plane by its base surface. In the meantime, one base side is being parallel to VP, and the solid's axis is perpendicular to HP. Simply the solid is resting like that. In this time, we needed to develop the uncut solid. So first we have to start the answer with drawing the projection of the solids, that is the base view and the lateral view of the solid need to be drawn first. Let me to draw the front and top views starting from our XY line. In this problem, the object is resting on its base on HP. So the base view, that is the pentagon, is visible only through the top view. So we have to draw the base view in the top view area. And the meantime, how should be the base? Here we need to maintain one of its base edges being parallel and nearer to VP. Two conditions are there. That is, you need to maintain one base edge being parallel to XY in the top view, and we can complete the rest of the sides. And the meantime, the edge which is parallel to VP should be nearer to VP also. That is, this condition will avoid drawing like that. So however, in this pentagonal base view also, one base edge is parallel to the VP, but it's not nearer to VP, it's far away from VP. In this choice only, one base edge is parallel to VP and it's nearer to it. So in this way, we have to draw the base view of the solid. Yes, let me to draw the base view. And then it is a pentagonal pyramid. So it's having apex point and slant edges. First, let me to mark the axis of the solid. After marking the axis of the solid, I need to draw the slant edges. And we need to mention the name for each and every base corner and the apex point. And now I am projecting the corners of the solid towards the front view to draw the lateral portion. The axis height given in the problem is 65 mm. With that height, I am fixing the apex point. And then I need to connect the slant edges one by one. The slant edges OB and OC are invisible when we view this solid in this condition from the front. So I need to follow the correct line format for highlighting the invisible edges. And we need to mention the corners in the front view also. Now the projection of the pentagonal pyramid is over. And then we needed to develop this pentagonal pyramid in this condition. We needed to follow the radial line method. In order to execute the radial line method for developing the uncut pyramid, first we needed to know about the true slant length of this pentagonal pyramid. The dimensions for this pentagonal pyramid given in the problem are the base side, that is 35 mm, and the axis height 65 mm. These two data are already given in the problem. But the true slant length data is not always given in the problem itself. We need to find out the length of the slant edge of this pyramid in order to execute the radial line method. And how to find out the true slant length is, this is nothing but the length of the slant edge O dash, A dash, and all. Here in always in a regular pentagon, the slant edge length OA is equal to OB is equal to OC is equal to OD and it's equal to OE. All slant edges are equal in length when it is a regular pentagon. That data is already we know. And here in the front view and in the top view, we can't measure the length because in the top view the OA is very less. It's not seems in the true length. In the front view also, the O dash A dash is not the true length of the corresponding slant edge. Why we are deciding it is not true? Because whenever an edge is not parallel to the xy line in the top view, this will not show its original length in the front view. See here, the edge OA is not parallel to the xy line in the top view. So definitely in the front view, this will show false length. In the same way, no slant edge in this top view showing its original length in this problem, because all the slant edges in this problem are not parallel to the xy line in the top view. So in this condition, we needed to artificially make any one slant edge being parallel to the xy line in the top view, and then we needed to measure its true slant length by using a simple work. How to do this? Just follow this procedure. From the apex point of the solid, from the apex point of the solid, just draw a line parallel to the xy. Draw a line parallel to xy. I just drawn a line parallel to xy from the axis, that is apex point O, and then use your compass and make O as center and any base corner as radius. Say here in this problem I am selecting D. So in this way draw an arc towards the horizontal line. Towards the horizontal line, here you will get a point. Here you will get a point, and from this point draw a line perpendicular to xy towards the xy line, and in the xy line again you will get a point. You will get a point, and now join this newly obtained point and the apex point of the solid in the front view. Now you will get a straight line. This straight line is nothing but the true slant edge length. The true slant edge length line. This line will show you the true slant length of the slant edge. And here this is actually a virtual work only. This is not the part of the projection of the solid. For finding out the true slant length of the solid, we are doing this work in artificial manner. Since there is no edge in the top view, slant edge in the top view is parallel to xy, I am making any one slant edge parallel to xy in virtual manner, and I am measuring its length in the front view. I am drawing a virtual top view of a edge and a virtual front view of the same slant edge. Thereafter, I am measuring the length. This length will be the true length of the slant edge for this solid. In this way, I have to measure the true slant edge. After that, when you come for the developing this pentagonal pyramid, use the true slant length as the radius in your compass and have a center with a true slant edge length. Draw an arc with some distance. This length is nothing but the true slant length of the solid, and this is loaded as a radius in our compass, and I just drawn an arc, and this is will be the origin of the arc O. And from any terminal, in this terminal just load the base side of the solid in your compass. Base side, that is 35 mm. This 35 mm length can be cut as an arc in the curve here, and actually then you need to connect these two. This is nothing but the side surface of our pentagonal pyramid. It's one side surface. Totally our pentagonal pyramid is having 5 side surfaces, so we need to cut 5 more arcs, 4 more arcs. Number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. In this way I have to connect all these things. And then I have to connect the base corners with a straight line because it is a polyhedron, so the base edges will be straight lines. I needed to connect the cut points with the base corners with straight lines, and I can give names for that, starting from A, B, C, D, E and end with A, just like our parallel line method problem. So this is nothing but the radial line method of drawing the development of the pentagonal pyramid. And already I have told this length is nothing but the true slant length. This length is our true slant length, and that length is our base edge length. Base edge length. Keep this point in mind. Thank you. And then now we can go for learn how to draw the development of the cone. Here the question is, a right circular cone of base diameter 40 mm and axis height 70 mm is resting on HP with its base. Draw the development of the lateral surfaces of the solid. So the solid cone is simply resting on the horizontal plane, and we can easily draw the base view as a circle in the top area because it's resting on HP. So the base view circle will be viewed only to the top view, and in the top view we can draw the base view, and in the front view we can draw the lateral view of the solid. Let me to draw the base and lateral view of the solid starting from the XY line. And again here also I needed to split the circle into 8 equal parts. And I am mentioning the base points with alphabets. And let me to project each and every base points towards the front view area. The axis height given is 70 mm. And the solids diameter is, base diameter is 40 mm. In this cone we need to draw the extreme generators with the dark lines, that is with the HB pencil, and rest of the generators, the interior generators, have to be drawn with the 2H pencil only in the light manner. Oops. Now I just completed the front and top view of the solid, and now we can go for develop this cone. And when you consider the development of the cone is simply like a sector of a circle, it will be a sector of a circle. and this sector of the circle, the length, the radius is nothing but the true slant length of the cone, true slant generator length of the cone, and the interior angle theta can be finding out by the simple formula, radius of the base circle r divided by the true slant length L into 360 degree. So the by this formula we can finding out the interior angle of the sector. So this is nothing but the development of this cone. Any cone, any cone's development is simply a sector. So in order to draw this sector, we need to have these two data, the true slant length of the generator and the theta value. After finding these values, we can start to draw this sector. So in this problem, the true slant length of the extreme generator can be finding out directly, because in this the length O dash E dash is the true length, because the generator OE is already parallel to the XY line in the top view. So in the front view, the O dash E dash is showing its original length only. So we can directly measure the extreme generator length as the true slant length of the generator in any cone problem. In the case of the pyramid problem only, we needed to do some additional work in order to find out the true slant length of the edge. But here, the extreme generator length of the cone is always the true slant length, and it's always greater than the axis height. In this after application, I am not able to measure the length of the slant edge. So for our understanding purpose, approximately I am considering it as 75 mm, and the theta value can be finding out analytically. The theta of the sector will be equal to r by L into 360. Already I just informed this formula. R is nothing but the radius of the base circle. Radius of the base circle is 20 mm, and the true slant length as we assumed as 75 into 360, then the value will be 92 degree. 92 degree. So the sector angle theta is 92 degree, and the true slant length what we assumed is 75 mm. By using this data, we can draw the development of this cone. First, you have to load your compass with the 75 mm radius. So by this, we can draw an arc. After drawing this arc, let me to draw somewhat neat. After drawing the arc, the angle theta we found out is 92 degree. So from one extreme side, take angle 92 degree and then close the sector. So this is nothing but the development of this cone. The meantime, we needed to split the arc, the total arc area, into 8 equal parts in order to split this sector into 8 equal parts. For that, your regular geometrical simple method you can follow to split an arc into number of parts. First, you can split the arc into 2 equal parts, and then split the each two parts into again two equal parts. Again you can split each and every parts into two equal parts. So totally you can split this into 8 equal parts. I think you already aware about how to split an arc into two equal parts, how to bisect the arc. If you don't know, you can go for some read some tutorials in the internet or somewhere else. Otherwise, I will tell you how to split an arc into two equal parts. For example, here this is nothing but an arc which you want to split into two equal parts. Just take your compass and take measurement in the compass more than half of the arc area, just like your process of splitting a line, bisecting a line. So take radius in the compass more than the 50 percentage of the length of the arc and cut two arcs from one side and take center as one more terminal of the arc and cut another two arcs. When you join these two, now you can split out the arc into two equal parts. After that, consider this one terminal and that one more terminal, again one more terminal, and from this point cut two arcs, from that point cut one more point and then connect it. Now we have two more points, and from this side also and from that side also. In this way, I just splitted the total arc into four equal parts, and again each four parts can be split into again two equal parts. So totally we can get eight equal parts in the arc. In this way, here you can split the entire arc area into eight equal parts, but do this splitting works with very very mild pencil, then only the development ambience will be better. Okay, try these works with your proper tools in the paper. Thank you.